Hi everyone, it's adrienneleaa. I'm sorry I haven't posted for a while. My schedule has gotten busier. I thought that it would be a good time to post. So this is a haul video. I am going to put the word witchy somewhere in the title just to clarify to people who haven't watched my previous videos that I do talk about things that are related to that subject. So I went to a couple of places and I'm going to start with Walmart. And at the end I am going to show some projects that I have done. So if you just want to see that at the end, you can just skip this part. But I did get some yarn. So my husband wants a blanket done and he chose the chenille chunky yarn mainstays, and this is in soft silver. I have 3 of these. So this is polyester. I got Red Heart medium time. So this is the color that I used on my bralette tank that I made, and I love the color. I did make other things from this yarn, so I wanted to get another one to make another bralette like this. I love this gray color. So this is from Red Heart and it's in Gray Heather. I got 2 of the Lion brand yarns, Scarfy and Eggplant Taupe. It's a beautiful gradient. I have already made something from my other one that I got, and I'll show that towards the end of the video. What I really wanted was the muted purple. I didn't see one that was just the muted purple, so I got this, and I love the deep purple anyway. It reminds me of the Morgan, which is my goddess, and Ravens. It's a nice deep color, and I love the gray undertones for the muted purple, and they go really well. It's a nice gradient. I didn't mention the other piece of clothing. I love the brand No Boundaries. I have a lot of their tank tops. So this is a large. It's a nice soft material. Then I got some stuff from Bath & Body Works, not a lot, but our favorite candle that we get is the Aromatherapy Focused Eucalyptus and Tea with Natural Essential Oil Scented Candle. I really love the smell of this one. It's clean and sweet, but not too sweet, because I feel like the tea throws it off a bit, so that it complements the sweetness. We have gotten a couple of these in the past, and they were having a sale. I also got a stress relief, eucalyptus and spearmint. And I really like the scents separately. So I would say it smells more masculine. So from Barnes & Noble, I got these two books my last visit. So this is from one of my favorite book series, the Fever series by Karen Marie Moning. And this is the Fever-Born one. So these are $7.99 for the paperbacks. They were actually having a sale for the Fever-Born one. So I skip around this series. I have read some of it on Kindle, have listened to some of it, and then for a lot of movies that have multiple movie series that have multiple movies, because it's a series. I'm trying to word it correctly, but I usually skip towards the end so I can see if I like the ending, and then I read it at the beginning. But I didn't technically do it with this one, but I did skip towards the end to see what the ending was overall, because I wasn't sure how I felt about the first two books. Because of the main character, she goes through a major transformation, especially with her personality. So I'm happy with the way that it's at, and I decided to get the Fever-Born one paperback, because they did have the hardcover on sale, but it's easier to get the paperbacks for a cheaper price, and I could just put this in my bag because I put a lot of stuff in my bag. So I got this one, but the Fever song is my favorite so far. So she's transitioning into new characters, and there are other books that she has technically within this series, but they don't have the word fever in it. So that's when you know that it's mainly about this other character. So I like that it has the fairy world in here too. I also got the other day, this wasn't from the shopping that I've done recently, but this is the Fever Moon comic book. I love comics, and I loved the X-Men series when I was younger. I watched and read the X-Men series, and I've watched the movies. So this has the illustrations by Al Rio and Cliff Richards. That was exciting because I love the way that the comic book style is. So I know that Al Rios died while making this, well, illustrating this. So this is like the adventures that they have, and it's really extreme and post-apocalyptic because their world is ending, and it's connected to the human world. So if Earth dies, then the fairy world dies with it. Then I really wanted like some type of memorabilia to this series, so I got this off of the Zazzle website for them, and this is the Baron's Books and Baubles tank top. So this is a large. I like how they had the measurements on the website, so it's easier to pick it out. And I'm just gonna check the time because it's above, but I can't really see it. So this fits perfectly, and it shows off my wings on my back because of the way that it's shaped, and it's a slim fit. Then I got, this is the last thing, and then I'll show like a project that I have done. So I got this off of Amazon. This is the illustrated herbiary, and it includes the cards in the back, and it's in this slot, and then you pick the cards out and you take them apart. It is, as it says, illustrated. I enjoyed the writing. I wasn't sure how I would feel about it, so it took me a while to get it, but I think that the writing makes it charming and poetic. This is the backing of the cards too. So the cards aren't large. They're like a palm sized. So that's the back. Then they have the phrases at the top for the message. I'm sorry if this video is a little awkward. And it also took me a while because I usually go for more subdued imagery. This has a lot of bold coloring, but it isn't bright. It's bright to give a contrast, so that's all right with me. It's a balance of the colors. So this has nice messages to it. I actually enjoy it a lot more than what I was thinking that I would. Not that I didn't think that I wouldn't enjoy it, because I love looking at herbal decks. So I didn't bring much to show. I have been making ogums out of wood that I find out when I'm in nature. So I didn't bring that because it's been a while since I've done it, and my more immediate projects are my bralette tank tops. So I am going to do a brown one after. So this is the color Cafe Latte from Red Heart. And I was going off of one tutorial, and I did go off of one bralette that I knew fit me well. So that's what I went with the sizing, and also there's different numbers for, or different knots for when you're doing it. So this is 15 for the D cup. I did go a bit larger because it is going to be those everyday tank tops. So this is what I have so far, and I'm going to make the bottom. I am going to make the bottom a little differently than this one, but I am pleased with the results of this one. So that's also what I'm going to do with the green one and the purple color. But I feel like I'm going to make a couple things with the purple because I love the purple one so much. So I have the Fever Tarot. I got this 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, and I wanted a case for it. This is a heavy deck. This is like a brick, but I didn't want to bring the case with me because the case is a nice box. It's nicely done considering it's not like a person that does tarot necessarily, but this person that's a fan of the Fever series, showed the author cards that she was doing for the deck, and it had to do with the series later on, but she didn't know that, the person that did the deck. So then she started creating the deck with her. The deck is on the website. Oh, I didn't show this case that I did. So this case was inspired by my good friend Mary Bow's case that she gave me over 2 years ago, and it's surprising how much time has passed that I've been on YouTube, and I still talk about my YouTube friends frequently on my YouTube channel, especially Mary and Cynthia. So Cynthia is I Am She, and I've been watching her for years, watching her do her projects, her crocheting projects. And that's why I wanted to get started on doing yarn projects too. I started off with knitting, and then I got into crocheting more because I made deck bags. So this is my more recent one. This is from the eggplant taupe one. What really got me to buy it, because I was a bit hesitant because I specifically wanted a muted purple, but they didn't have any. And there was another technically muted-ish purple in one of those cake yarns, but I didn't want that. So this woman at Walmart, while my husband and I were there, she was saying that it's nice yarn because she was making a scarf for her. She made a scarf for her daughter with it. So I got it, and it looks so nice. This is the back. I did 22, and then did I do 22, and then I went down. But as I was doing the lip here, and you undo it here. So this was the beginning of the gradient, the lightest one. Then it lightened or darkened there. This is the Fever Tarot. This deck is my heaviest deck. I know that's random to say about a deck. It's not, well, you hear people say it, but it's not the first thing that they say about it. So a lot of my bags are my other, I can't really see the time. I still can't see it, but I sewed them. I have a lot of this butterfly one. My husband chose this one, and it's the one that I use the most. I was a bit surprised that I used it the most because I picked the other ones out, but he always picks stuff for me that I know that, well, sometimes I don't even know if I'm gonna like it, and then I end up using it more than the stuff that I usually get for myself. It could be partly sentimental too, but I liked sewing the bags, but I love the way that the yarn looks, so I'm doing a lot of that. This one has the Fairy Tarot. I also knitted the Tarot of the She with the cafe latte, the Red Heart cafe latte. And it looks more narrow because I trimmed it. But this is my OG deck. I've had this for over 5 years, and closer to over 6 years. And I really love it. So this deck and the Fairy Tarot, so the Tarot of the She and the Fairy Tarot, are the ones that I reach for the most. They're like the ultimate decks for me because they speak to me the most naturally. So that's the Tarot of the She. I might as well show this one too. So this is the Celtic Tree Oracle. I wasn't sure if I was going to get this one because I am starting my Ogum deck, and I didn't really want to get another card deck for the Ogums because I don't know if I will use it after I make mine. I really enjoy it. So this is a Blue Angel published deck, also from Amazon. The backings are one of my favorites. They were a selling point for me. I think I have 1 minute left. So I love the simplicity of them. On Amazon, they were saying that it's not strictly a Celtic deck. Well, for the book, the author mentions other deities, and some people didn't appreciate that, which is understandable. I think it was mainly just the marketing of it. If they written out the description differently, I think people would give it a higher rating. Because right now I think it has 4 stars for that, and someone was saying, why is this information in here when it's a Celtic based deck? but I think it's fine. And it has the oakum stave at the bottom with the Gaelic. So mine is going to be, well, mine is a visionary deck, so you are going to see the, I suppose the action of the oakum, or what it's implying, is more action oriented. I know that there's another deck like that, but I'm not going off of that imagery. I don't have the decking